Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we have some pretty juicy gossip going on over here when it comes to XQC, who is one of the biggest content creators up on Twitch, and as well with his now apparently, if you guys read the title correctly, his now ex-fiance. Now, there's some kind of big, huge, like, drama bombs that have been ongoing over here, and if you guys do or do not know, XQC is one of those very, very interesting characters when it comes to Twitch. He's literally one of the biggest Twitch streamer, if not the currently biggest Twitch streamer itself, averages like 50,000 views all the time, and obviously, with all that, with all like the fame and YouTube success, sponsors, and everything else, you make quite a bit of money. Now, he actually did have a really messy breakup with one of his like previous ex-girlfriends, Adept, who's also a Twitch streamer, but now apparently some huge leaks have now come out that, number one, they may actually be losing millions of dollars, obviously for XQC, and as well, the fact that this McLaren that they literally had, like a $350,000 car, might legally belong to her, and we also did find out that there is an ongoing now divorce. Now, it's kind of funny because the only reason why I'm bringing this up is because it's just so out of left field, and it kind of just goes to show on how almost kind of dumb some Twitch streamers are. Now, I'm a Twitch streamer myself. I always show my links down below if you guys want to watch. I think you guys totally can. And I'm not going to go and lie. I'm definitely an idiot myself too. But this is some next level stuff, both on the drama, but as well, just on how on earth is this going on. So let's go talk about this. So make sure you guys drop a sub if you guys want. Or if you guys are just kind of rambling here for drama because we might have a good clickbait title, whatever, feel free to enjoy your stay. So very first and foremost, if you guys don't know, basically XQC, as I mentioned, is probably one of the biggest Twitch streamers on all of Twitch. Now, one big thing to note is there's been a meme. Is that for him, he's Canadian, okay? So just for a little bit of a preemptiveness over here. And he bought this awesome car, like $350,000 McLaren Z20. You guys can just kind of see a little look to see a doodle over this one. This car is a sick car. But when it comes to being a Canadian resident and he also for some reason not even have his own license, he actually literally had his ex-girlfriend and or now potentially ex-wife just go and own the car itself. Like more so because he's Canadian, visa issues, all that type of stuff. And while they also maybe got married is also maybe to help out with all these visa issues and, save money on taxes if they stayed together, stuff like that. So this is a very nice car. But it's going to start off a lot of drama where at some point they end up breaking up, pretty messy breakup as is. And I want to remind folks, if you're in California, it's a 50-50 state, typically in most cases. So depending on where it's actually filed, either on Texas where they lived for a while or California, XQC could be potentially losing quite literally millions upon millions of dollars, because obviously if you're married, you make, let's say, $50 million, then obviously you have to go and pay that money back to the said person that you're married to, just how the legal law is. Depends on the state, depends on the country, etc., etc. And as you guys can see, this is a good old little spicy McLaren. Now, the one big thing with this is that his ex-girlfriend slash wife, Adept, have actually had this car now for months, and Twitch and everyone else is trying to go and say, hey, like, you should get this back, you spent the money for it, like, she's kind of like just using you, she's a bad person, etc., etc. But now we actually had even more drama that happened as of yesterday, and this still is a pretty sick car. I'd be kind of upset if I lost it. Thankfully for something like XQC, you can make this money back. He's like, once you're going to hit a few $1 million, money matters. Obviously, you don't want to lose 10, 20, $30 million to an ex-spiteful girlfriend slash wife, but at the same time, it's like not the end of the world versus someone losing literally everything. But now we're kind of seeing even more stuff where, like, even for these clips that got deleted, where like Adept is showing up at XQC's house, he's trying to move, he's trying to get out of this, and everyone's like, bro, what is going on with this one? It's all talking about the car, talking about either other stuff, maybe in terms of maybe divorce, that they share different accounts, and that kind of goes into this kind of big news that got leaked. Now, this is where it kind of gets interesting. So all that type of stuff, people are assuming it was like ex-girlfriend stuff, which is annoying. So you would think XQC is in the right. I still think he technically is, because this girl kind of seems a little bit on the crazier side from what I've seen. I don't know her at all, obviously. But you kind of see this. There's actually a huge date for this one that came out from these court filings that no one ever knew about. This is more of a recent case. As of on November 14th, XQC and his, now at this point, ex-wife, or in the process of it, were actually now going through a proper divorce. So they literally had the original petition signed and dated, and then the initial motion was pushed on 11/15 with all these different types of proposed orders and all these dockets now being entered and all this type of stuff with like temporary restraining orders and everything all in between. And now this is even weirder because if you're married in California, depends on where they're actually at, in the first place. And also this is all like legal stuff is public domain, so it's not like something weird to go and show, etc., etc. This could potentially mean that someone like XQC could have lost a lot of money. Like, not alone like the money, could have also lost the car, and could have lost a lot of other various things depending on how they had their decree ongoing. So even the tweet itself says, the day that Adept posted flowers, and they've had like a really messy public breakup, as people usually do with their content creators, they just spend all day streaming. So number one, it's good content, but number two, if you're streaming for 13, 14, 15 hours a day, like sometimes just drama kind of gets involved, but she's like taking all these photos and saying it's a divorce, and there basically is an ongoing divorce case by proven legal documents. So it does kind of seem like XQC himself is, well, quite literally going through a divorce. Now, once I keep on mentioning this, it really depends on how the 50-50 works. If it was through Texas, it might be slightly different. If you have a really good lawyer as well, you may have even tried to say it was just for a green card. But even then, that kind of turns into really awkward legality things because, well, then you should probably be deported. You know how you have all this other like little extra layer stuff. So I'll be very, very curious to see what's going to go on with this. But this has been horrible. Number one, because I think a lot of folks, if you guys are invested in this, I'm not really that invested on it, but obviously I'm a Twitch streamer, so I look at like live stream fails, and I'll go through the threads and see what people kind of go and say, and kind of mention over here too as well. It's just kind of crazy on this one, because at this point, he's like basically saying like, hey, like you guys can see this, like his ex-girlfriend, ex-fiance, literally knew he was live, and then physically goes on the stream itself, allegedly, I'm assuming, just based on the time frame of this, that it'll go and get attention and bring up these weird big things on legal things and records and like court orders and everything in between. And well, with all of this, it just kind of keeps on sparking up drama, because it's even more intriguing too, because her channel, I mean, obviously, because if you're dating someone popular, if you're now currently going on their stream and insulting them or trying to go and steal their McLaren as somewhat of a meme itself, some people don't really like that. Like, honestly, when it comes to content, when it comes to people, when it comes to, I don't know, just everything, like I wouldn't like that myself. So, yeah, it's kind of on the weirder side too, because her channel really hasn't been doing the best. So it almost kind of seems like at this point, almost like a spiteful ex-girlfriend trying to do her best to get as much money as they possibly can on it. It's kind of just what a lot of folks keep on seeing when it comes with their channels. I don't know. So at this point, I think she lost something like already 30,000 followers on her Twitch channel itself. We're seeing these clips, like I said, you guys can see over here where like Adept shows up at his house too in general, and it's just ongoing arguing and people fighting, and it's just really, really weird. It's not a cool vibe. So it does look like this XQC hidden marriage may actually cost him kind of a lot. Like, this is really not like a good situation to be in, because number one, if you're rich and famous, and like I've said many times, if it's a 50-50 state, you're going to be losing that money, or you just have to have like a really hardcore legal case to maybe go get it. And she also might just be entitled for a lot of assets. Like, I think at this point she's still driving like that random McLaren, because in theory I think it's technically in her name, because as I mentioned, XQC never for some odd reason got his driver's license, maybe from being lazy, maybe from just being Canadian, having some issues with that, maybe green card issues, I'm not really sure. But basically I think from like that big drama, the car is physically in her name. So even if it's paid for probably cash, because these streamers make good money, just want to go buy and get it, that might legally mean that because it's in her name and she has the title for it, she might actually legally own the car plus other proceeds. Like, there's all these like really weird small intricacies where if you think a normal, nice person would, I mean, maybe legally you might be able to go and pursue this, and I guess for $1 million, maybe I would too. At the end of the day, I'm not really sure how bad their breakup was. It was very publicized and very kind of drama-filled, if you guys have seen those VODs or conversations or whatever. Like most streamers usually are. We all act like 12-year-olds, let's be honest. But at the same time, just ethically, like, I don't think I'd ever be able to go do that. And they kind of know they're kind of taking advantage of someone. And this weird, like, almost now, I guess, confirmed marriage that's now apparently falling apart, and all this information coming out is absolutely just not what I just wasn't expecting this on my Twitch playbook. I really, really wasn't. And we're seeing stuff like this too. We see like X reacts to getting his car getting juiced, someone taking your car. Adept will be keeping the car until XQC mans up and takes the driver's test. So people are calling XQC like a loser, but legally, like, he may just not be able to go do it. Like, he may be court ordered by like a divorce attorney himself, like through the court of law, that they might not be able to go and even take it back. So this is probably going to be one of the weirdest and strangest dramas we've seen on Twitch, because typically the biggest streamers, we haven't seen like a huge divorce drama. Like, even Dr. Disrespect, who cheated on his wife, is still, I think, with his wife. Or same thing too as well with Forsen. We could just, at the end of the day, his wife just went back to Antarctica. It happens, it happens. But when it comes to this type of stuff, it's just crazy to see. So I want to make this quick video. If you guys care about Twitch drama, feel free to subscribe or leave your thoughts down below. But at the same time, it's just crazy to see that someone could be losing like potentially tens of millions of dollars on some weird green card, potentially scam marriage. And well, I guess we're all living for it. I just hope for the best for everyone involved, because this is kind of a weird situation. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. If you guys like this Twitch stuff, hang on my Twitch channel down below, Twitter as well if you guys want to follow, and of course the Target and Amazon links too if you guys want to check those on out, all linked down below.